Ta-da! I hope this is focused here by myself today. Some people refuse to grow up. And by that, what I mean is they refuse to be more mature. I know people, I work with them, and I deal with them on a daily basis. People who simply refuse to give in to their desire for what they know that is the best thing to do. And I don't just mean the best thing according to my ideas, but the best way to forgive, the best way to acknowledge understanding for other people. They just simply are defiant in everything except for what they want. Now Jesus told us that you could become as a little child, but a little submissive child is what the Lord was talking about. I know there's spoiled, rotten brats out there that seems to be like the Gremlins that you have fed after midnight. I remember growing up, man, you go to some people's houses and it gives a scene like was in that bar with all those little Gremlins, one swinging around on the ceiling fan and drinking and sitting in the corner with their glasses and playing poker, and that type of childlike thing is not what the Lord was referring to. But however, that is what I'm referring to today. I know a grown woman who is defiant, just as those little Gremlins were, and she hasn't grown any. As a matter of fact, I think she may have grown worse over the years. That's why we have people like Al Capone, Ted Bundy, and Charles Manson. That's why we have those kind of folks today, because they simply refuse to grow. That's why we have atheistic point of view. The agnostic atheistic point of view is probably the worst in all of creation. I mean, not only are they just atheists, but they are defiant in that. And not only are they just defiant, but they hate anything outside of that realm. I've had atheist after atheist tell me any religion is dangerous. Well, yeah, it's dangerous to what they believe. The Lord Jesus is not dangerous to anybody on this earth. We are not called to eternally judge a person here on this earth, but we are called to defend ourselves when we are attacked against any of those entities, no matter what they are. We are still allowed to protect ourselves. Even as Israel is allowed to protect themselves, we're allowed to protect ourselves. Now I know, yeah, those hit the floor. Now I know a lot of people would think, well, they don't got a right to blah blah blah, we're just going to kill them and get them out of the way and then we'll have peace. No, they won't, because you know that pretty soon it'll be the agnostic against the normal atheist. Then they'll fight and kill each other, and it only gets worse without Christ. You know, I saw a long time ago, and I preached in a sermon, how that there were some young Christians that never get any older in the Lord. They are still hanging onto the edge of the table spiritually, walking themselves around. A 40-year-old man, can you imagine this? A 40-year-old man in a diaper hanging on to the edge of a table, sucking his bottle, goo goo mama, that type of thing, not able to balance himself. I mean, you would look at that man and say, there's something bad wrong with that, you know. And you would be correct. Because something that refuses to grow. Listen, it never really hurts until you begin to grow. I've never seen a time in my life when I grew when it didn't hurt a little bit. And God has taken me through some tremendous traumatic experiences. See the scars on my face, scar right there, and on this lip, and scars over here. That happened to me when I was a teenager. I was about 13 years old, and I was shy anyway. And it was an extremely traumatic experience. And I'm not sure why that I just didn't go off the edge, you know, when that happened, because here I am figuring out. I didn't even know how to impress a girl. I didn't know how to talk to a girl. I couldn't talk to 3 people at one time. I was too shy. And I just had settled in my heart, well, marriage will never be for me now, you know. But guess what? I've got about 16 grandkids. I have a very lovely wife who likes to eat, yeah. Is not a glutton, but she likes to eat, like a lot of you other folks like to eat. And she's very beautiful, and I love her the way she is. Now we're on a health thing. If she could stay healthy and be the way she is, that's the way I like her, just like she is. So, but anyway, people refusing to grow, they can't see beauty in anything. A spoiled child sees ugliness everywhere he looks. He'd walk into the most beautiful room in the world and pick out all the faults in the room. You know, he could go into Solomon's temple and tell you everything that was wrong in the play that he thought was wrong, when actually nothing would be wrong. He could go in the White House and find all the flaws of the past history and none of the things that the people has put down that are good. That's what refusing to grow in God. That's what refusing to mature in the things of God, the attributes of God. When you refuse to grow in all that we know that is right, you will use all those rights to prove wrongs in everybody else rather than seeking after that thing which is good. Alrighty, God bless. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you again next time. All you gremlins and ever and all, you know. We'll see you next time. Crossing the Middle Ministry.